Okay, shoulder work with bands. So let me explain, because there's quite a few things here to say. First of all, you will probably need two different bands, one that is a bit lighter and one that is a bit heavier. It doesn't really matter so much if it's an open one or a loop, because if it's an open one, we just, in a sense, also use it in a looped way. Yeah, so that doesn't matter. But you need a lighter one and a bit heavier one. And you need something to attach the band to. Not for everything, but for quite a few movements. You need that. Yeah, so I just have a tree here. It can be also whatever sort of pole or Swedish bar or calisthenics bar or staircase or whatever. Yeah, so let's first distinguish the movement of the shoulders from the movement of the shoulder blades. And let's distinguish now three different planes. So if you think about the arms, so if you think about just the upper arm, the bone of the upper arm and the shoulder, let's think about a three-dimensional plane. Yeah, so there is horizontal movement like this. There is up and down movement like this, so vertical movement, and there is rotation, so rotating inside and rotating outside. Okay? With the shoulders we also have horizontal movement like this, we have vertical movement like this, and we have, you could say, also rotation, but it rotates in a different plane. It rotates like this if I take my arms up and down. This is also a form of rotation of the shoulder blades. So as I said, we can take these movements apart, or we can also combine them. But let's start with taking them apart, because this is what I want you to start with. This is also, in a sense, a form of stromp, you could say. Although it's more like goes towards strength training, depending on the weight of the band, obviously. Like we're thinking about strength training, but I want you to think also about this also understanding the coordination and understanding movement. Yeah. So for example, this horizontal plane, I can do it in this way, boom, like pulling the band apart. And now when I try just to go for the shoulder, yeah, I just try shoulder movement and not shoulder blade movement. You understand the difference? This, my upper arm is moving in space, but you could say this part here, the top of the shoulder, this should stay in the same spot and not move back and forth. Yeah, like my shoulder blade is staying at the same spot, like this. I always go for controlled movements in the beginning, slow and controlled. Yeah, so this would more go for the back part, obviously. So I'm stretching the band and the muscles of the back are used, or I do the opposite. And now the muscles of the front are used. Yeah, I can even go further back like this. And I can do it in this bilateral version, or I create a unilateral version, which is also important. For many people it will be important to practice unilaterally to figure out the differences between the sides. Yeah. For example, like this, I stand in an angle, so I always have to choose the right angle to do the exercise. Yeah, maybe if I want to do more the part in the back here, I might stand more like this to overload the back part, because if I'm standing like that, I might not be really able to get there properly, or I don't have the proper pull. So it's better I feel directly. If I change the direction, this creates a nice muscular engagement. So you might have to change your position, because you cannot go for, let's say, full range of activation with just one position, yeah? Or going more for the front side in the horizontal plane, like this, trying to keep the shoulder on one spot. Okay, so that was horizontal movement in the shoulder in this basic range here. We will do combinations later. You will see. So the next thing, because it's already attached, so that's nice for the rotation. And for the rotation, it's easiest if you are flexing the elbow, then you can create a nicer pull here. So external rotation, like this, and again I can overload it in different ways depending on how I stand towards the object, yeah, or internal rotation. Now it's practicing the inside here, the internal rotators of my shoulder, and if I go further away there's more pull, or if I change the angle there's a different pull. So with this you have to play around, you have to diversify it to get the full thing, yeah, to get your shoulders strong in all sorts of angles. So internal rotation, external rotation, also very important, and especially the external rotation is often underdeveloped, so it's good to spend more time in external rotation than in internal rotation. Okay, then I said there is the vertical movement, yeah, so I can be here going down and up, with the arms. Here, if I go up and down, you won't be able to separate it, the movement from the shoulder blade with the movement of the humerus. Yeah. Here, when you do it in the front, it will feel a bit more separated. It will feel like, okay, the shoulder blade, I can keep it a bit more in one direction, but less here. There you have to make more space to open it up. So you might want to choose also an option, and for this I take the lighter band, an option where you go to the front, also nice, but both is equally good. Yeah, where I go here and I lift the arm up. So in a sense, all the different angles are again useful. Yeah, also the angle to the back, lifting up here, that's also good. Okay, so if I attach the band down there, I can practice going up, or if I attach the band further up in the tree, I can practice going down. Yeah, okay, now that's not very far up. I would usually want to take it higher, but at least I can go for the lower part here. Yeah, again, different angles of the vertical space. Good. So that's more shoulder centered, or upper arm centered. That's actually more accurate. And if we go for more for the shoulder blades, I look how can I in a sense separate them, so practice more them instead of moving too much with the upper arm, because for now I want to look at it more separated. So I can go here and go in the horizontal plane, bring the shoulder blades into retraction and forward again, yeah, choosing my stance in a way that makes sense. I keep my shoulder blades down, away from the ears, and obviously I can also do the other side, and I can, for example, also, that's also nice, I bring my arms back and move with the shoulder blades there. Again, choosing a distance that makes sense. Yeah, and all of this can be also again done just on one side. Yeah, like this. Show you this side. Slow and controlled, back and forth with the shoulder. So that's about the horizontal plane. Then with the band I can attach the band down here. Yeah, and for example, but for this I need to really go low here. Pull up. So I can choose various positions for this. If I grab it a bit further, I can also go up like this and just work from the shoulder. So that would be practicing going up with the band, or again I need to attach it relatively high. That would work for me. That would be obviously unilateral version, but I can also attach the loop in a way that I can do a bilateral version. So I can choose different angles here. And play with that. And then in a sense we already had some of the up and downward rotation, yeah, before in this angle. Here I need to pull them apart, the band, pull it apart. So that's nicely difficult, but I can also again do a high attachment like this. Yeah, should be higher, that's why I need to squat down now. Or good, so that would be more the singular isolated movements, and now notice that you can do all sorts of variations here. Let's for example use this one where I pull the band apart. Yeah, I can also combine that, the action of the upper arm with the action of the shoulder. So I would go like this and then bring the shoulder blades into retraction, forward and again into protraction, out, retracting and together protracting, and I can do that with different degrees of rotation here also. For example, like I can rotate more out, yeah, or more in. So I can diversify all these exercises a lot, choose different angles also, yeah. For example, I can also when I do this action, overhead lift, go forward and this changes again the interplay here. I have to choose a distance that works well, maybe like this. So I invite you in that sense to play around with that motions and to figure out all sorts of options. Yeah, okay, retraction, for example, retract, then go like this, yeah, with the external rotation, shoulder down. And if I change the angle, it also again changes the activation, yeah? Or I'm here, first pulling there, and then internal rotation, yeah? Or like this, first pulling forward, internal rotation, going back out and back. Pulling forward, internal rotation, out and back. Okay? And like this you can make this whole area very strong and used to do all sorts of, to work in all sorts of angles. Just attach the band on all sorts of heights and all sorts of angles towards you and combine different shoulder positions, upper arm positions, shoulder movements with each other. And I showed you the basic ones that you can do, that you should start with, and once you feel ready and maybe have some experience with SROM, where you understand all sorts of shoulder positions, then I really invite you to play around with it and also feel where is it more difficult for you, where is it more easy, and so on and so forth. So in that sense, it's a concept, it's an open system, open idea with which you can create a very strong and resilient shoulder girdle. All right.